With Season 5 on the way, I'm feeling pretty excited overall. However, with the removal of the old starter items and the introduction of the new blessings, I think it's time to talk about my biggest issue with SMITE. Hi-Rez thinks new players need obvious decisions. We saw it when actives became relics, and now we see it again as starter items become blessings. Hi-Rez is dumbing down the game in order for new players to have more obvious choices. Here's the thing though, they're new. New players don't need to know what they're doing, they honestly shouldn't know what they're doing, they're brand spanking new to a complex game. Now here's a thought, maybe instead of creating extremely simple starter items which are literally named for each class, Hi-Rez should create more content on their YouTube channel to explain the game to learning players. How about a video like Guide to Starter Items? That said, the last Hi-Rez video I saw recommended Rod of Asclepius on Cerberus, so maybe item guides aren't such a great idea for Hi-Rez Studios. Simplifying the game for new players has brought SMITE down for a long time now, but I always assumed that Hi-Rez was just more focused on their casual audience than their competitive audience. But with Season 5 introducing a massive increase in pro player salaries, I'm a little bit confused. You're encouraging a stronger competitive scene for SMITE, but you're simplifying the game. These decisions are on opposite ends of the spectrum and it's making the game worse. Personally, I love the complexity to SMITE, the parts of the game where I can keep improving, and for that reason I was really excited about the raise to pro player salaries and the improvement of the SMITE competitive scene for Season 5. But I feel like the introduction of blessings is a direct counter to that extra attention to competitive SMITE. Hi-Rez took starter items which were fairly unique and added in 5 plain replacements which were literally named after the class that they want new players to buy them on. Here's the problem. Whenever Hi-Rez simplifies a core part of the game, they also lower the skill ceiling for the game as a whole. Decision making becomes simpler and player knowledge matters just a little bit less. I understand the reasoning. Hi-Rez wants to help new players feel a little bit grounded as they start into SMITE by giving them some easier choices like which blessing to buy and picking up a free relic at level 1. But this is a flawed mentality because even with these simplified choices, new players still don't know what they're doing. They don't know what actual relic to buy, they just know that they can buy one. They might pick up Warrior's Blessing for the Warrior when in reality Mage's Blessing is actually a better fit. There are such better ways to help new players into the game, such as better recommended builds, because this recommended build for Bologna isn't exactly one you'll see in the SPL. Or like I mentioned before, more educational videos to help explain the game for new players. Most of you probably don't know this, but SMITE actually does have a library tab for new players to click on when they want to learn more. The problem is there's not much learning to be done. There's 25 videos, they're about 30 seconds each, and they go into very little detail. This whole section could easily be transformed from that place you go to when you forget what the Titan is, to the place you go to when you want to learn how to properly build your god. And when I say properly build, I mean not building Rod of Asclepius on Cerberus. So honestly, this video isn't that much of a rant about blessings themselves, so much as the idea of dumbing down starter items. SMITE isn't at the point where there's too many decisions to make or too many items to choose from. There's still a decent amount of items that can be added to the game before we reach that point. As an experienced player, I'm tired of having decisions taken away from me when those decisions have little to no impact on new players who should be following the recommended build if they really need starter items to be so simple. I think Hi-Rez needs to decide whether they're going to balance the game around competitive play or around casual play, because right now we're somewhere in between, and I think that just hurts both sides. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.